Howdy, howdy.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
I am doing wonderfully. How about you?
I'm doing awesome, man. You've been talking a lot of shit that I don't that doesn't make any fucking sense. That you need
Hey,
to be
that's normally my line when I bring people in.
you've met your match, man. Just
Oh
letting you know that before
shit.
we talk.
Uh oh. All
But
right,
yeah,
let's do it. Hit me up. How we feel first? We should be civil. How you doing today?
oh man, just calling in from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Alabama in the chat? Alabama here.
Alabama crackers, rise up.
Nah, I don't rock with Alabama conservatives. Not at all.
Not the
But
conservative ones. Well, I'm representing Washington here. That's my prescription. All right, listen. I feel like, to be fair, I feel like we've both been talking a lot of shit. How about we resolve our differences? What do you got on your mind?
This the problem. This the problem, Vosh. You what a lot of people have with you, including me, is that you continuously put an emphasis on appealing to right wingers. And I don't know if you've been living under a rock or not, but right wingers are full of shit. Completely. They are white supremacists. They are not trying to help me, any other marginalized communities. So when I don't like right wingers at all. Like really don't like them. So I want to make them feel uncomfortable as possible. And when I see motherfuckers like you claim to be a leftist, and you saying I need to appeal to right wingers, I'm saying with that, if to appeal to right wingers mean you got to put out a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think I'm not a leftist?
I know I know you are anti-capitalist. I know I don't me personally, I think you coming from a spot of you're naive, or you may not be, you think this is what we should be doing. I don't think you are purposely um doing that ridiculousness. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you purposely, but I think you continuously paint this picture as the conservative white man, as the person that is the savior that we must bring over. That if white conservative white people are uncomfortable, it's over with. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck if they're uncomfortable. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what if they think the leftists are crazy or whatever? I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my problem is when we say conservative white dudes, we mean a pretty broad range of people. Now, there are some people out there that are proper conservatives, Republican boomers. You live in Alabama, I'm sure I don't need to tell you about those folks. But there are also a lot of people who are apolitical or who consider themselves apolitical, who I believe are considered conservative leaning in a lot of left leaning spaces. These are people who don't know much about the history of racial oppression in the United States. They don't know much about trans folk. They think that women are complaining too much about how they get treated because they got big old tits and everyone likes big tits, so they get treated nicer than the boys. There's a lot of shit they don't know. And I think that these people aren't conservative. I think that they're just a product of society's biases. And I don't think the left does a good job at reaching out to these people, which is a shame because there are millions of them. And it's not just all dumbass white boys, too. It's plenty of dumbass boys of color and plenty of dumbass white girls and every variation in between. And a lot of these people, though not initially bigoted, or at least their bigotry is largely uh, subterranean. It's largely a product of social biases. It's not active. It's not malicious. My problem is that the left doesn't really reach out to these people at all. In fact, we ostracize and alienate them, whereas the right sets up social spaces that ask them nothing. They ask them not to change, not to condition themselves, not to watch their language or to behave themselves or change their tone, only for them to be free and funny and happy. And then they slip in the right-leaning dog whistles, and before you know it, you're watching Eel Miles Chung, Sargon of Akkad, and then bam, Nick Fuentes or any other of the YouTube Nazis. I want to catch people before they go all the way down that path. I want to show them it's possible to be funny and a little edgy and a little hyperbolic and so on and so forth, and still be a leftist. Not just a leftist, but a progressive leftist too. I mean, I'm sure you know my content. It's not like I'm a class reductionist. I advocate all the time for trans people, racial equality. It's most of my content. I want to show them you can be all of those things and, you know, still be a little bit of a little goofball, maybe a little impropriety here and there. Not much, but hey, once you bring them in, the social forces will begin to push them further left. That's what I want to do. That's the process I want to be a part of. I want to make the left bigger.
This what I'm saying. The left is already big, and I think you keep saying this bullshit. It doesn't really make any sense. I'm finna walk you through it, okay? You telling me, right, that white people, conservative white people who thinks that blacks are less, or Hispanics or whatever, or think that Hispanics are invading us. I'm not saying you claiming that person is apolitical. That person is not biased. So I'm trying to tell you, I say, man, like if somebody can convince you that blacks are monkeys or Hispanics or this or that, bro, you already was biased from the jump, and don't act like you wasn't. Like, I'm tired of this.
Do you
like
think people
this
are
centrist
born
BS.
racist?
I mean, no, the racist people I know in Alabama, if somebody told me, if somebody told me I'm gonna try to get a lot of conservative white people onto the socialism from Alabama, I'm gonna say you can't convince everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a threshold. Like, I think if it's like you keep putting conservative white people as this shiny object, this golden object, where
I don't like them
liberal.
more than other folk, but you know, you're born in Alabama. You've probably personally seen people who didn't judge you for your skin color grow
Definitely.
up and turn racist because of social pressures. These people can be reached out to.
Well, you know, man, look, see, and it's also like this, man. It's like these white people you talking about, conservative white people. I want to radicalize white people. You know what I'm saying? I see. I'm trying to win too, but the white people I'm trying to radicalize are white people like you, white people like on Bread too, liberal whites, people at Elizabeth Warren rallies, not the people at Trump rallies. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people at Trump rallies are pieces of shit. I'm not finna rock with them. Like,
But
and
why
that's
are they
cool.
pieces of shit?
I can't talk. Okay, it's like this. See, I think, Vosh, you need to understand this. You need to put yourself in somebody's shoes. I'm a person of color. I'm a black person. I've been beat up by the police. I live in a predominantly black community. I have been stopped and frisked. I have been to under the funded schools and stuff like this. That is all a product of white supremacy. So, um, you know what I'm saying? So how can I and me and other people of color approach a person, and why should we approach a white supremacist and try to convince him of my humanity?
Well,
You know, if you don't think I'm a human, why should I come out here and say I'm a human? It's
Well,
like,
I mean, if in a position where you have nothing else to do, it's probably always a good bet to advocate for your rights. But I'm not asking you to do shit, and I'm not talking about white supremacists either. When I was 15 years old, I was kind of an edgy white boy libertarian. I grew up in Beverly Hills. I wanted for nothing. I'm well off. I'm very privileged in that respect. And I occasionally said the N-word, and I wasn't racist about it. I figured everyone was about the same. I was just edgy, and, you know, women sometimes are kind of fucking stupid, but, you know, it's not a big deal. You know, I'm not like one of those crazy misogynists. I'm a feminist. Yeah, really. I mean, all those bad positions I had, they were a part of growing up in the society that I lived in. And I was lucky enough to meet people who changed me. And I became a leftist. And I'm, you
well,
know,
I'm just
still a
saying,
leftist.
I want to
But
say
some
this, though. I just
people
want to
never
say,
get that chance. Lots of folks out there who could be changed, who could have their minds changed, never get that chance. They just fall into the hole because we never give them a chance to. We see someone who's rough around the edges and we say, oh, they'll never fit in the left. We can't have those edges there, because we don't realize that we're a tumbling machine. We roll those edges off when we bring them in. And the left isn't big enough. It's you say it's big. It's really not. I mean, the proper left, we're a long way away from class consciousness. We need more people roped in, and for that we need coalition building. And coalition building cannot begin and end with people who already agree with us.
No, I'm not. No, no. The people who are, Hillary Clinton people, Elizabeth Warren people, we can bring them over. I mean, first of all, it's like this, bro. Did you ever think black people were monkeys or like white
I
people,
never thought black
conservative,
people were monkeys.
conservative white people have since I made my channel, which is great, y'all. Go check it out. But like I said, they be hitting me up in my DMs, be like, I'm a monkey, you're a monkey, you're working with the Jews to shut us all up. I'm like, man, I'm not finna talk to these clowns. Like, man, the fuck up about my YouTube channel, man. I don't want to talk to you about what. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like this is, but I'm saying like this though. Yeah, you can do that, bro. Just understand that, and also understand this country is 40% non-white. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of people of color, you know what I'm saying, in this movement. And I think that's the friction. When you bring some white supremacists over who thinking it's like last week you was a genocidal, you was genocidal, and next week you a card carrying member of the DSA. Like how this work? You know what I'm saying? I
I
think
mean,
it's
you're free to take a look at my communities, my Discord, my website, my Twitter. These are not like a groups of white supremacists. For the
no,
most
I ain't
part,
never
these
say
are
that.
people more
Why
sensitive than I am.
that's silly man. Why you made that? I know what you doing, boss.
Well, the way you're phrasing it makes it sound as though I'm bringing in like these deranged, unhinged people who are just barely days away from believing that you're subhuman or like a Neanderthal.
No,
But
they
in
already think
reality,
that.
my communities are more orthodox in their leftist thought than I am. I trigger them, not the other way around. I don't really think I procure those types of communities.
No, you just I'm saying like currently right now in America, right? White supremacists are uh, putting out a lot of damage on communities right now, right? Right now we speak. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? And when I see people, white supremacists on YouTube, I be like, all right, bro, I feel where you coming from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Me personally, that's how you feel about right wingers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
But I
I believe
hate
in
them.
redemption. I know you do, Bavash, but you really think that a person, you really think that people who come on, man. These jokers, you know who you talking to, bro. Like, bro, these jokers are straight up neo-Nazis and white supremacists,
Well,
man.
yeah,
Like,
but wait. But when I talk, so for most of the people that I de-radicalize aren't like fascists. Most of the people I de-radicalize are either liberals or people who consider themselves apolitical beforehand. I get a lot of emails from people telling me that they were watching Sargon of Akkad and might have slipped further down the alt-right pipeline if they hadn't encountered my content, which appealed to them because I act differently from a lot of leftists. But when I argue with full-on neo-Nazis, I'm not doing it so I can convince a bunch of dog fucking degenerate fucking white nationalists to join my community. I'm doing it to show strength. The left, for a really long time, has done a very poor job indicating that it's capable of defending its principles to interlocutors, and I am an alternative to that. Even if I don't convince anyone during those debates, the entire world, or at least whoever's watching me, their side, my side, can look at me and realize we are not only in the moral right, we are in the logical right too, and I can blow the fuck out of any Nazi I argue with easily on an off day. And that shows people something. Not just that the left is right, not just that I'm strong, but it shows the people who sided with them that maybe there isn't as much comfortable strength behind their positions that they used to think there was. Maybe they aren't really red pilling themselves. Maybe they aren't really swallowing the cool truth. Maybe all they're actually doing is buying into the same shitheel sucker game that all of their compatriots who just got their asses blasted by me did. That's all I want to do. I want to undermine the right in ways that the left isn't capable of doing presently.
nah, there is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can talk circles around them. And, any of my videos, blow them out the water. But these are economic issues, you know what I'm saying? So they are mostly, the right wingers are strictly social issues. If I'm going to talk to right winger, all we going to talk about is humanity, have empathy for your fellow human beings. God damn. That's all we talking about. We're not talking about no Marxism. I'm talking about, hey, bro, you need to stop thinking black people are monkeys, Native Americans, this, Hispanics. But another thing, Vash, let's talk about this mob that you have witnessed, this lynch mob that you claim is on YouTube. That these leftists who are who are
Yeah, the woke
deranged.
scolds.
They
Yeah.
coming to get it allegedly, supposedly, because I think it's a bunch of bullshit. But allegedly, that if you tweet some on Twitter, they're gonna show up at your house. How you making it seem? And I
Okay. Well,
think,
I never said that. I said they're
yeah,
toxic
you said they're
online.
gonna blow your house up. Yeah.
Oh no! Whoa, hold on. No, if anyone's going to shoot me down in the street, it's going to be the many Nazis I argue with. No, I don't think these people are going to blow my house up. I think most of them are inept, degenerate, mentally ill fuckheads who have no idea how to handle a gun. I'm not afraid of these people. What I'm afraid of is the effect they have on the left as a social space. In order for the left to function, it needs to be strong. And while there are people in that strong union who are free to be weak, that's a thing they should be able to be. Weakness is a component of human existence. That doesn't mean
Strong is subjective, though. Strong is subjective.
Well, I'll
what I'm
tell you
saying?
what isn't strong. What isn't strong is that right now, H Bomber Guy, Lindsay Ellis, and Philosophy Tube have all had to release statements responding to Natalie Wynn putting in fucking Buck Angel for a 4-second quote reading in one of her 45-minute videos, denouncing her and separating themselves from her decision to do so. If we live in a position right now where the largest lefty content creator on YouTube can be so bombarded with hatred and vitriol that even her friends, the other largest lefty creators on YouTube, are forced to make public statements on it, that is a fucking problem. That is an issue that affects our advocacy. It makes it difficult for me and for other people like Contra and for Philosophy Tube to do their jobs. And it indicates that we're not really interested in making the world a better place, or at least not all of us. What we're interested in is cultivating a left that is beautiful and flawless and capable of holstering all of the social desires these people have while managing none of its advocacy desires. And that is a problem to me. It will kill us. It will be the death of us. And when I say us, I mean you first, buddy. I'm white. When things go shit in this country, it's going to be your head on the chopping block first, and all the trans people, and everyone else who doesn't benefit from all the privileges I enjoy. I don't want to see that happen. I see beyond the myopy that a strong left means stronger than a social space that makes everyone within it comfortable. A strong left works on multiple fronts, convincing multiple people, serving multiple interests, protecting everyone under its wing. That means you and that means me. That's what I care about, more than anything else.
People disagree with some of my videos. People have very visceral disagree with my videos, right? But one thing, I personally think, look from the outside looking in, okay, this I kind of sense it, like it's this these right wingers, they have developed this narrative that white people cannot speak on any subject matter, that people of color has stopped them from speaking. You know what I'm saying? Like gay people have stopped straight white male cannot speak on anything. This is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
I get it from trans people, not from black people.
You kind of you saying that that they say we weak. I disagree. I see it as strong as that we can first of all, this fantasy land that will never happen, with unicorns and the skies made out of marshmallows, where everybody agrees with each other. Like everybody not going to agree with each other. There are going to be disagreements, and I don't think that's bombarding. Like your vocabulary on this issue is astounding. Like if I tweet about somebody that I don't like, you would then go on your channel and say I stabbed them, like that I'm mobbing them. Like, you see, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
I can't disagree.
I try not to be too hyperbolic, but I think that I have accumulated.
Please try harder, man.
I have accumulated, I think, quite a bit of condemnation from the left. I think that I, amongst others, am perhaps more qualified than many others to elucidate the ways in which the left fails to incorporate people who do not fit within its expectations for a proper social space. I know what I'm treated like.
Who is this mysterious people? Who are these mysterious people?
Every time I search my name on Twitter, people are calling me a bigot or a reactionary. Every time I search my name on Reddit, when I see threads on BreadTube or ContraPoints or Chapo Trap House, people are calling me a rapist or a bigot or a transphobe or a genocidal maniac. Anytime I see a video of me, not of mine, but of me on YouTube, It's somebody critiquing my points in a position I don't even hold. Every time I see people talk about me in the left, it's stupid. It's straw men, and I don't even mind that too much because I don't expect any space to be perfectly rational. What I do mind is that these people are taking positions that are utterly antithetical to the benefit of the movement. I do good work, I think. And I would like people to critique me on that work so I can do it better. But critique is not unilateral condemnation of my moral character and telling me that I should never show my face on YouTube again. And this isn't just me. This happens to other people. It's happening to ContraPoints right now. It happened to ContraPoints' friends. And it makes it difficult for us to do our work. Left unity has been a meme for centuries. How is it so hard to believe we have issues with it today?
Hold up. Let me explain to you, right? Why I say strong is subjective. Now, I want you to take notes, Vash, on this when I'm finna tell you. Okay. You can be perceived as weak, or the shit you talking right now is that you saying that I cannot perform a YouTube channel. I cannot perform on my YouTube channel because people saying mean stuff to me on Twitter. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems weak. But you continuously say nothing. You don't portray that image. We could portray Vash as the whiny baby who always talking about people saying mean stuff about him. We
I
can't
am
do that.
portrayed that way.
Well, I mean, hey, bro, like all I gotta say is about.
Do you think
However,
that all criticism of the left social space online is just impotent whining from somebody who's mad that he doesn't have a higher sub count?
I would say this is why I was. Say that again, bro. Say that again.
Do you think, like, is there no way for me to criticize problems in the left without coming off like some scab or some LARPer who's just trying to up his sub count?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've laid out my criticisms pretty concretely, and it's not videos of me saying people are going to come to my house and shoot me. It's videos of me explicitly describing issues with how the left engages online, and then me explicitly talking about ways in which they can improve and how the consequences will be if they don't. I feel like I've been pretty consistent in my enumeration of these issues.
All I know is, bro, you start. Okay, look, Val, we can walk through this. You start a YouTube channel. I don't know when, but for now, you got to think about this, bro. I mean, why is everybody saying this about you? I mean, is it everybody on the why is this? Is it because you're a straight white male, Vash?
No,
Why?
it's because most people are stupid and can't defend their points, and I would invite anyone who disagrees with me to come on here so I can blast them live. I've invited many of them to, and many of them have said no. I have no respect whatsoever for people whose criticisms of me are limited to tweet threads, and then they refuse to come on and actually argue their points.
The people who, a lot of my supporters, the people who told me, they said, don't talk to Vosh, right? And I said, I'm going to talk to him. He is a leftist. He is a big leftist YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? And they continue, they just tell me that your aesthetics, how you talk, like, let me give an example, right? Like, we can make jokes and laugh. Like, you trying to, like, I laugh, all the time. All the time. We can have a good time, laugh, fun, jokes.
I love laughing.
Yeah. But you keep trying to say that you say jokes that a person walking by would say, man, that dude's a piece of shit. Now that's, hey, bro, like you
Like
knew
what?
this going in. Like Vosh, you acting like you don't, like you just woke, you was born yesterday, bro. Like
wait. What jokes do I say that a random passerby would accuse me of being a piece of shit for?
Okay. One about the
because my problem is a lot of people have very general criticisms of my platform, but when I ask them for specifics, I feel like you don't have them.
I'm finna give it to you. Okay, a couple. Okay, when you say that, you tweeted that I hope all transgender people die.
Okay, well, hold on. I didn't tweet that. That was in my Discord. And for two, I was saying that, not that I hope they all die, but that my life would be easier. Or no, my Twitter feed would be a lot nicer if trans people didn't exist. I think that's the specific wording of what I said. And I stand by that, by the way. I've got to say, on my off days, let me tell you, when I'm looking at the Twitter feed and the kind of shit that I get and I see the fucking, the trans flags, I think, whew, not saying anything, but ooh boy. Now, there are two ways to interpret that. And this is where my issue comes from, okay? On one hand, you can interpret that as me making a glib comment out of frustration. which it was. I think anyone could say that. It's glib, and it's clearly out of frustration. Or you could interpret that as me actually advocating for the death of trans people. And the issue is, people keep going to the latter. Even though the majority of my platform is dedicated to progressive issues, and trans people seem to get front billing on that these days, people interpret it as uncharitably as possible because they aren't willing to give charitability to somebody they have already assigned the reactionary role to. But the problem is that joke that I made, I'm not here for the virtue signaling. It wasn't that bad. People in chat say it's pretty yikesy. I don't care. It's not that bad.
See, virtue signaling is a good thing. In my book, I wish we had more virtue signaling. I wish we had more SJWs. See,
why can't we just be virtuous instead of just pretending to be for social points?
What you mean? See, this is explain to you. I had talked to re-education. You said some shit that really is mind-boggling. I can't comprehend this, right? You're saying that in America, a country that is experiencing, out of all developed nations, you know this, some of the worst forms of oppression, right? You're right. This happening in America right now. And it's so fucking crazy to me.
I don't know if I've said that America is currently experiencing the worst form. I mean, like fucking like
in developed nations. In all the developed nations, yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Like what America does overseas. Bro. Yeah, 100%.
In Alabama, bro, it's places that don't got sewage systems, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, really quickly. I'm sorry. I'm getting a knock on my door. Just one second. One moment. You're free to talk to stream as you would like. I'll be right back. Hello?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, I'm doing well. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. There's some family stuff that's come up. I'm afraid I'm going to have to end the stream now. Would you be willing to continue this discussion soon?
Yeah. Hit me up in Discord. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Sorry to hold you on hold for a little while. Okay, we'll continue this soon.
All good.